Hello, I'm Dr. Montgomery, computer science professor, and the inventor of the Wearable Droid. This is the wiring instructions for the Wearable Droid project. If you followed our previous videos, we built this. We built the base of the Wearable Droid, which include the Arduino, which is our computer. We're going to program one of the motors that will make the top of the robot spin back and forth. And we had the battery in here, but I took it off for a little bit as we start our wiring and other components we're going to start adding to the droid to make it do things. So the first thing we're going to work on is wiring up the battery to the voltage reducer. So this is a 9-volt battery. This is a rechargeable 9-volt battery. There's multiple different kinds that you can obviously purchase, but this is the one I'm using for this project from EBL. I think it's 5400 milliwatt hour battery, still 9 volts, has enough amps to run everything. We have some problems if we get too many motors, we get smaller servo motors, but we'll cover that later. So I have this battery here. What I'm going to be utilizing, we're going to wire up this little guy right here. This is a voltage reducer. So it takes 9 volts in. Let's see if we can kind of zoom up here a little bit. There we go. 9 volts in on this side and puts 5 volts out on this side. The Arduino runs stable 5 volts. All the other components, such as the motor, needs 5 volts. And so whenever we need 5 volts, we're going to get it off of this little voltage reducer. So we're going to wire this up first and wire up all the other components we have to make everything work inside of this. Because we have some long wires. We basically just need to make them a little bit shorter. I'm also going to be utilizing some wire strippers, maybe some snips. We'll see. We probably don't need these. I'll kind of put them off the side. I'll just use these for everything. Here's our connector for the 9-volt battery here. This goes in just like so. It pops in. And then I have a couple other wires here. They both have this here on the side, which is the connector side that plugs into the pins. So they'll plug into the pins here so they can go right in like this. So just like so. So it's not the pin side, it is the connector side, the whole side there. So that's the one we're going to be utilizing. So we're going to wire that up. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I need this to be substantially shorter. So I'm going to probably take this guy here and I'm going to bring it down to about where my thumb's at. About half of what it really needs to be. Because I just need a little bit shorter. So I'm just going to kind of clip both of those wires off and put those over to the side. It's going to give me something like this. I'm going to do the same thing to this wire here. I'm going to make that substantially shorter. So I'm going to make it somewhere around there. Not an exact science. Primarily because what I'm trying to do is to get this connector that'll go right here to wire over and wire up somewhere in this slot right here. I'm going to have this somewhere about here, and so I don't need really long wires. So something about this length here is about what I need. So that's kind of what I've developed here. So I've got the red and black. Now black is going to go to our ground and red is going to go to our positive. So red is going to be the plus, the ground's going to be negative. And you'll see that plus and negative here on the bottom and top. Now, we don't need a red and black cable. We could use any cable collar, as long as you know that this side here is ground and this side is positive. So the collar doesn't really matter. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to keep it all the same collars just so there's no confusion. But in your classroom, you may have to use a purple or a white or a gray or whatever. So just as long as you know what goes to positive and what goes to ground is all that really matters. So we need to strip these wires off to connect them. So I'm going to put this guy in here and strip that. I'm going to probably go there. Let's see if that's where we need to be. I think it's 20. About there, I think is where we need to be. I want to take about that much off and pull that right off. So you can kind of see what I did there. That is on the 20, grabbed, pulled, and now I have exposed wire on that side. And I did you can see how much I did right there. Not a whole lot, but enough I can get a chance to twist, because we're going to twist these wires together. So I'm going to do the same thing here, 20, about right there. Pull, good. If you break it, not a big deal. Just cut and do more. I'll try not to make a mistake myself, but, no guarantees. You'll see me make mistakes in videos. Best way to learn is to make a mistake. All right, cool. So now I have all the exposed wire to twist these together and make a really good connection. So, you know, I'm about an inch off of the wire, somewhere in that place right there. So it gives us plenty of room to be able to make that happen. Now, we're gonna twist these together and splice the cables. So really the best way is to hold them together and twist them. So I'm gonna take the black side here, kind of pinch them together like this. So that's black on black, right like that. And I'm gonna twist these together. Twist the cables, twist the cables, twist the cables, twist them. Just like that. Oh, pull it apart. I was gonna pull it over there. Twist these guys together. And then I was gonna show you what I'm gonna do here. Twist it, and then we'll pull it back like that. Pull it like this. And now I've got a solid connection. Just like that. Oh, I need to twist that a little bit more, sorry. Twisty, 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 twisty. All right, cool. We'll twist the other side as well. Get really twisty. Twist, 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 twist. And more twisting, twisting. And by the end of it, it should look something like that. So, you should be able to pull on it and it not come apart. If you pull super hard, it's going to come apart, but I'm pulling on that, not come apart, right? So that's what that should look like. Twist, 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 twist. So you can kind of pinch back on that a little bit if you wanted to make it a little ball, like that. Pinch back a little bit on that, make it a little ball. If you want to, like that, just to kind of make it a little bit more secure. Now, if you're in a classroom where you can solder, this would be much better to solder those together. Or if you have a little hot glue, you can put a little hot glue on there to kind of hold that together. Those are going to be just fine. The important piece is we don't plug in right now because these are exposed wires. They touch, we get some sparks. So we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to use electric tape. So I'm going to take a little bit of electric tape out. I can use my cutter side of this to be able to cut that, which is the back side here. This is back here is my cutter. This forward place right here is my stripping side. So I'm gonna give me a little bit of tape, pull that across, and I'm gonna tape just one side. Do not tape both. Just tape one side and we'll tape the other separately. So I'm gonna put a little tape like this, wrap it around, really try to get as tight as you possibly can. That's gotta be really on there. We don't want that to come off. Comes off, glue. More tape. Whatever the case may be. If we're soldering, you could put heat shrink wrap as well in there. If this is a more advanced electronics class, we could do heat shrink there as well. But I'm showing you how to do the most fundamental way of doing this so that there's no need of the other equipment if at all possible. Just like so. All right, cool. So now those are together, just like that. Now we have our cable. We've made our cable. Good job, go us. Everything looks great. So now we can test this. We take our battery, which would be in here normally, but I'm just going to kind of show you because you can plug that in and kind of wrap it around because it'll go in here eventually and wrap around to here to plug in. So that's kind of where that'll go. But just to kind of make it easier on myself, I'm just going to go ahead and plug this in. So this is our voltage reducer. So we have an inside over here, outside over here. So we're going to be going in. The very top pin is our plus. That's going to take the red wire. If I can plug that in. Perfect. And the bottom's going to be our black wire. Plug that in, just like so. And what's really cool is these little voltage reducers have an LED light on it right here, which tell us if this is working or not. So let's give this a go. Plug this guy in, and if we have a red light, looky there. Yay! We have made our cable voltage reducers, reducing voltage, going from 9 volts to 5 volts. And in my next video, I'll show you how we start wiring up other components to the Arduino, splicing some cables, and making all of this continue our operation. So this is part 1 of a multi-part video I'm sure I'll do on wiring up the wearable Droid. I hope you had fun. Let's talk to you soon.